Hi, just thought I'd make a video talking about some of the cognitive problems that people with ME suffer from. And I find actually that this is probably one of the most disabling parts of my illness. The involuntary movements are a pain. The difficulty walking is a real pain as well. But the slowing of my thinking, my problems with concentration, the difficulty that I have in trying to form new memories, or should I say trying to learn new things, is probably the most disabling part of this illness. I was saying recently I can watch a movie and then watch the same one in 2 weeks' time, and although I can remember the gist of it, whereas before I become ill I would be anticipating just about every single next bit. I mean, this is about a month later after watching. I can't remember huge parts of what I've seen. It's not quite that I'm watching it for the first time, but sometimes it's pretty near to it. The other thing is I thought I would try and go back to my Open University studies, because I just like to be able to have something that's keeping my mind occupied. And I started a degree before I became ill and would like to have finished it. But so I thought, well, what I'd do rather than sign up again was to go through some of my old work, stuff that I'd learnt over the years. And I found that most of the concepts that I had learnt I'd forgotten, which might be usual as it has been a while. But then I found that when I read through things, although I seemed to be taking it in, afterwards I could recall very, very little. And so it seems that even trying to do that isn't easy, and I'm not sure that I actually now have the capacity to learn the new things I would need to learn in the time. It's not that I can't learn them, it's that everything is slowed down in my mental processing. I mean, one of the reasons I don't drive is that my reaction speeds are much slower than what they were before this all started, which obviously would make it not very good idea for me to drive. The other thing I've noticed recently as well is that I can be watching a television program and it's like I've missed whole chunks of it. I haven't taken it in and actually asked my wife what's happened. No, I'm not sure whether I think it's down to this problem with concentrating on things for a long time. It's not easy to be able to keep up my concentration for very long. And this is sort of an invisible part of the illness, something that's difficult for others to see, but for those who experience it, it's extremely disabling. It limits what you can do. I can read, at one time I would have read a book in a few days. Now I have to really limit it to an article or two. If I attempt a book, it will take a long time, in weeks more than days, and I will probably not be able to tell you much about what I've actually read afterwards. When I did neuropsychological testing before Christmas with a neuropsychologist, she did find this evidence of problems that I have with information processing, with forming new memories, with learning new things, and with executive function. I'm not exactly sure what executive function means, but apparently I have problems with that. Things that I didn't have before this illness struck. It's like my brain has been rewired in some way, and it's not functioning in the way that it used to. And I know that these cognitive problems are a thing that's common for all people with ME, and it really is disabling. It limits so much what I can do. The whole effort of doing something, having a conversation with someone, even, takes a great deal of effort, because what you would have done fluently before now takes far greater concentration. When people talk about fatigue in ME, the way that I think of it is, it's not that the fatigue stops me from functioning, it's that the effort it takes to function, whether it be mentally or physically or whatever way, the effort, because my body's not working properly, means that I fatigue more easily. Now that's how it appears to me. It's not the other way around. It's not that I'm too tired to do anything, or too fatigued, I don't like the word tired really, or don't have the energy, but what I do try to do takes such an effort that it's tiring, and this is difficult to explain exactly to people, but these things are part of ME and part of the invisible side of it. So that's my little video for the day. Those of you who have ME will know what I'm talking about when I mention cognitive difficulties, and will understand what I'm thinking. Those of you who have friends with ME, just be aware that when you're having a conversation, that sometimes it may take longer for responses, that the person you're talking to might find the effort of holding the conversation more difficult than when you knew them before, and you also might find that their concentration and ability to focus on taking what's being said is also not as good. So my little rambling for the day. I will no doubt speak to you all very soon. Bye for now.